My name is Lizzie. Every week I'm bringing along a different origami fold. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I think it's a brilliant way to help calm your mind in a very practical way to make something beautiful. So I was actually asked by a patient to learn origami. She found that it helped her during times of being a patient, times of anxiety, uncertainty, difficulty, and by making something beautiful you focus your mind on something else completely different, and you can also make beautiful things to cheer yourself up and to also surprise and delight others as well. It never ceases to surprise. And the wonderful thing with origami is all you need is paper. I'm going to be showing everything from A4 paper because that's something we all have at home. Or if you're elsewhere, letter paper will also work. So I want to show you that you don't need any special materials, and simply from paper you can make amazing and beautiful, surprising and wondrous things, which I think you will find will really lift your mood. It's a very simple but astonishing technique. And I've been working in wards with patients within oncology and also with staff, and we've had such fantastic feedback. So I'm obviously clearly now working from home, but this is a way I can bring you something special. And actually I've learnt myself through YouTube. I found it a really good way because you can actually see quite closely what you're doing. And I hope it's a chance to sort of have some time with somebody to do something special for yourself. I'm encouraging self-care, and I think this is a really good way of doing it. So this week, this is the 7th week, I'm bringing along a chrysanthemum. This is a traditional fold from Japan. I find it absolutely beautiful. It has so many beautiful layers, and I'll be showing you how to make this. The chrysanthemum is a royal flower in Japan, so it's seen as a very special flower. And if you make one, I'll show you how to make one, and I will also explain how you can stick them together. So this would involve either Pritt stick, staples, things that we all have at home, and you can make these beautiful balls. And these things are fascinating because they're called Kusudama, and it actually means medicine ball. And I guess by making these balls of flowers, you'd make them to give to somebody else, and it will help make you feel better, and it'll help somebody else feel better as well who you're giving it to. So I hope these medicine balls will work for you. It's quite fascinating. They also, I think they look quite scientific. They're very beautiful things. So I'm a scientist originally, fascinated by folds. Everything in the body, our proteins are folded. This is all about forces in life and in the universe. There's always a depth to it and an astonishing beauty. And I will show you how to do this. So I'm going to move the camera around, and in a second I'll grab a piece of paper. So if you go and find yourself a piece of paper, we'll show just from one piece of paper, and then I'll explain as well how to make the ball. So I'm grabbing myself a board. It's always quite good to go and find something that you can press on, and I will show you nice and slowly so you can follow me, and it's filmed so you can go back. I'm also doing a live fold as well on Wednesday at 2 UK time as well, so you can also join me live. And for colleagues, I'm also able to do things together more directly as well. So here goes. This is for everybody. I'm going to direct the camera down onto my board and grab a piece of paper. Here we go. Now, for a lot of origami, you're dealing with squares. You don't have to. There are actually things you can do with triangles and pentagons. But in this case, we're going to start with the square, which is the real tradition. So if you take a corner, you can make your own square yourself. Just bring it over to this side, keeping it all in a nice straight line, like so. And with origami, I really encourage you to take your time. Lots of people say, I can't do it. It's because you haven't taken the time and the care. And by taking that time and care, you're also caring for yourself as well. So I like to say with origami, my 3 rules. The first one is be very exact. If you're very exact, it will go very well. Start well, continues well, start badly, it gets worse. Your second rule is to give the good strong folds, and the folds give it strength and structure. That's the secret for good origami. Third rule, not to forget to enjoy yourself as well. Don't take it too seriously. So we're going to get rid of this rectangle, and to do that I turn it over and then I bring it back so it's lined up. I think it's also encouraging you to just allow yourself to learn something new. I think we all resist learning new things, but if we approach it in a fun, playful way, I know that you will get there eventually. you will feel so chuffed with yourself that you've done something a bit different. It's good for you. It's like a little mental workout. So I've done a good strong fold there, making our square. And if it's a really good strong fold, you should be able to just tear it. Very satisfying. So obviously you could use scissors or guillotine, but this is fairly accurate actually. There we go. So I've made a square. We've got a diagonal line. We'll actually add the other diagonal line. Hope you can see this all well. I know you're seeing it at a bit of an angle, but I think the lighting here is lovely. There we go. Take your time. So you've done your diagonals. Now our next step is to take an edge and bring it into the middle. So we're sort of doing horizontal lines now. So taking the top edge and bringing it down to the middle of the square. There we go. Like so. Can you see? And then the same thing on the other side. I always think it looks like a pair. We're aiming for a pair of curtains. So again, aiming towards the centre there. That's it. A lot of pieces of origami start off in the same way. This is, so you'll find there's different bases and it depends where you take it from there. So hopefully it looks like this, and then fold it in half to the middle. And there's many different ways you can get to the same fold. So like little journey that I learned, but you don't need to learn anything. Just enjoy the ride. Just enjoy coming along with me. There are loads of great YouTube videos online, so that's how I've learned. I found the diagrams quite hard, so I do recommend looking at videos. So opening it up, and then if you bring the top or the bottom into the middle, so we're ending up with a square shape. Just take your time. That's it. And then the same thing here. So we've sort of folded almost in every direction, so it ends up a little box. There we go. And after a while, you end up doing these things automatically. So this is one I've made a lot. I really like it. So there we go. It should look like this. Now our next step is keep one of these folded as it is. Open it up. And we want to give a sort of diagonal line through that square, like so. So to do that, I recommend lifting it up and bringing it to match up with this line. It's always very hard to explain these things in words, but sorry, the light there is a bit. So I'm taking the side and I'm folding it over here in a nice straight line. Can you see? Again, I'm on the solid surface. I'm then pressing it down so I get good strong folds. I'm going to put my finger in there. There we go. And then the same thing up here. So the side here, bringing it up in a straight line, and what you're doing is actually adding a diagonal line there. So again, take your time. I'm going to have to press this down, I'm afraid. I find it tricky hanging in the air. That's it. So can you see it's ended up with those nice diagonal lines? So from that, you should just be able to push it over. And actually, this is a piece of origami in itself. You can see it's a little house. There we go. But we're going to go beyond the house. If there's any little wrinkles, I suggest getting your finger in there, getting rid of them, trying to get things nice and precise. And it's all about taking time and care. As I said, I think when you're taking time and care, you're also taking time and care of yourself. So these sessions, I'm trying to do it as I would if we were here together. And I hope that you'll enjoy this process. It's all about enjoying the process. There we go. So we'll do the same at the other end. So opening this up and then we're going to want to do again diagonal lines there and there. So if you open it up and then pull it so it matches up here, so three-dimensional. So I've closed there and I'm pushing it up here. And again, it's a bit hard to see, I know that. But I have folded it down there, and I'll do the same on this side as well. So I'm bringing it's down here, bringing it up so it's all perfectly in line. I can also put in another link if you're finding it's not clear enough. And then again, you should be able to fold it, close it up there. So it looks something like this. Again, put it down. You can always neaten these things up. Consider what you're doing a first draft. You're learning. Be kind on yourself. I think that's the main lesson of origami, is to be kind and patient to yourself, and you will get there. And I think really with origami, you only, for me anyway, I got there because somebody's spending some time with me. And I think it is actually, it's about people passing things on in a really nice way from one to the other. So this, one of these little flaps, if you fold it back the other way, you're not adding any real extra lines. Can you see I've just pushed it down so it sort of sticks up? And you should be able to do that on each of these sides. So each side. It's also three-dimensional. I'd normally be showing you on your piece of paper, but this is the way we have to do it for now. And hopefully it works reasonably well. This is how I've learnt origami, so there we go. Do this on each side. There we go. So it should look something like that. Then any one of these pockets, if you put your finger in, squash it down, and it should form a square. Again, if there's any wrinkles, pop your finger in there and push it down like so. There we go. And then the same on the other side. So each pocket you can put your finger in, squash it down, and it forms a shape. It's already looking an interesting shape, I think. I tend to really enjoy the patterns of each step. This is a very pattern-y based one. I myself tend to go more for the patterns than animals, but I have to say recently I've so enjoyed the rabbit. That's a brilliant one. So this little pocket, squash it down. And this is something you can hopefully do at home. You can do it at work as well as a team, but you're probably more likely to do this at home. And I hope this is something nice to do. I find it quite hard to sit still, so I tend to like relaxing by doing something. There we go. Should look like this. As I said, it's already a nice structure, isn't it? Lots of little layers. So from the middle here, I want you to take a little side and fold it in a straight line. Can you see? So it's flat down there, and then I'm folding it in a straight line from the middle. You need to get it the right way round here. Don't do it from that end, it won't work. It'll be another nice pattern. So I took the edge and I folded it to the middle. And you now do this for every side. You'll find it easier if you press down. I'm doing my best to let this float. I can just about do that. That's it. So you do this for each side. Take the side and then fold it into the middle. Like so. Each side. They look a bit like little kites. We're actually really quite close. So we really are getting there. There we go. And the other side. So yes, this is an old piece of origami. Interesting to think where it would have come from and been passed on from one generation to another. And it's something that we enjoy as children, but I think actually it's pretty hard for children. This is more, if anything, for adults. But children are always more, I think, willing to obviously enjoy play. And there's so many things you can do with origami. We've all enjoyed making paper aeroplanes and fortune tellers. That's it. But there's so many things you can do. It really is for all ages. And I think the precision is something you can really enjoy as an adult, which you really can struggle with as a child. Again, each side, bring into the middle. So it should be looking like this. Hope yours is looking like that. And our next step, again, there should be these little pockets. If you take a little pocket and find a little edge, you should be able to pop your finger in. You see, so I put my finger in, and I always find this quite satisfying. Opening it up, and I'm squashing it down so that this is in the middle. That line matches up with that line. There we go. And so you do this on each side. Now if you use paper that's different colours on different sides, you'll find the inside colour will open up. That can be quite effective. But it's lovely whatever paper you use. Again, opening it up, you probably need to put your finger in. And again, can you see I'm trying to line up this line there. And as you're doing this, it starts to form a circular structure. The flower is opening. It's a lovely moment. So again, putting my finger in there, squashing it down, keeping it in the middle. Again, if there's any wrinkles, put your finger in and get rid of that little gathering or crumple, because it will affect everything. You need everything to be quite perfect with origami. But there's a real satisfaction in that, getting things in order and things in right. And I think there's also something about the well-being side that we particularly need order at times, particularly when things are out of our control. So again, putting it in there, and that you will get there, but you do have to be quite patient on yourself, and it will be a very good thing. It will be very calming. There we go, on each side. And this is all materials we have at home. And you'll find yourself getting more and more into it. I've been absolutely loving learning more and more new things. There's so many YouTube videos as well, so it's very easy to learn this. Well, I think we've been losing our hobbies a little bit in recent years. There we go. Pushing that down. It's great to do something. Make something. A new experience. There we go. Push down. And it's real science and art. So as I mentioned, I'm a scientist originally, and I work as an artist as well. And this is very much about forces, and these structures relate to forces and structures in our own bodies even. There we go. There are mathematicians who use this for research. So it's as kind of high end or low end as you wish, or it can be great fun to make something like a water bomb and chuck it. So there are paper planes. We can make some very beautiful flowers, beautiful structures. Again, I'm going through each side here. It'll be easier if you're doing this pressing down. I recommend doing this on your table or whatever you're pressing on. So hopefully you've got something like this, which is a beautiful, beautiful structure. These things also can make beautiful lamps if you've got obviously an LED type bulb underneath. So this is sort of circular. So this can be used as a coaster, but I wouldn't want to put something wet on there. It would mess it up. So I'm going to show you how to make it a little bit more circular. So the corners now, you should be able to just fold underneath so that you have a line between there from that corner to that corner. So just fold it over. It's quite thick, but it sort of neatens everything up at this point. There we go. Again, taking my time, getting it right. The great thing with paper is you can just reposition to your happy. So you see it's making it a lot neater, I think, as a structure. To each of these corners, you should be able to just simply bend back. Pull back. And it sort of opens up the flower a bit more too, I think. There we go. I think there is something very meditative. It brings you very much into the moment, which will give you that holiday for the mind that's very, I think, very valuable. Will raise your energy, I think. Here we go. Again, this. I think when we slow down or feel tired, it's that our brain's just too much going on. So when we focus on the one thing, it will restore you a lot. There we go. So I hope that's worked for you. I'm going to demonstrate a little bit how you could make one of these amazing Kusudama. So this is a beautiful thing in itself. It also reminds me a little bit of the sun as well. Flowers. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It'll look really nice against the light as well. I don't know if you can see I'm holding up there. It could be something you put on the window actually and enjoy the way the light comes through that. It's a beautiful structure. So if you want to make one of these beautiful balls, believe it or not, it's really effectively a cube. I know it doesn't look like it. I'll show you with a couple. What you need to do, like any cube, you'd need to make 6. So you'd need to make, I would recommend making them a little bit smaller, and this is quite big. So in terms of size, I'm going to show you how to make the size to make something like this. So I would recommend getting your A4 paper. you'll need a page and a half of A4 paper. Simply folding this in half. Here goes. This is the size I would recommend. So if you fold it lengthwise, just to make your pieces smaller again, because I've made a good strong fold, and then rip along there. There we go. And then if you take a corner again, fold it, nice straight line, nicely through the points there, then that would be the right size to do it. And it's really the same thing as we've done before. I'm not going to show that again, but just to show you the size paper. So you'll get 4 from a piece of A4, so you'll need another half to do the 6. And I can show you briefly then how you can start to get that together. So you're going to use 6 of those. I'm going to show you just 2 I made earlier, but you need to make 6, so it's like a cube. So for example, 2 I made earlier, this is like Blue Peter, isn't it? So 2 I made earlier, and you've got those little corners that we made on the bigger one. Now these are the things that you could use to stick to the next one. So just looking around for some Pritt stick. So these little corners, you want sides, almost sides of a cube. Can you see? So the 2 here, and I'm putting these, they should just nicely stick together. Oops, out of view there. So if you stick them together, so you could use sellotape actually, or I'm going to use staples to start it off with. I'm not going to show you the whole of the ball, but you'll get the principle. So the principle really is get those very much carefully lined up. Can you see? So really carefully lined up those triangles. So just to start it off, you'll be able to use the staples for the first couple of ones. So I'm getting them absolutely lined up. And I want it as tight as possible to this side. So it would be nice tight join. So I'm doing it nice and close, and I found a staple can do that. So there we go. So that's one side, can you see? And you would do this for each side. You'll find with a stapler you won't be able to do many sides, in which case go on to Pritt stick, or if you have PVA, that's even better, and you can use paper clips to hold them in place. But you slowly build up the ball, and it's 6 sides. I know it doesn't look like a cube, but it sort of is. It's these little bits that miss out. You can even put a little, as I said, a little LED light in, or if you can see I have lots of fairy lights, you can pop them in one of those and you get beautiful effect. Or you could hang it up against the light again. You'll see the lovely little layers. So I hope you found that interesting and relaxing. And next week I'll be back with another fold. We'll see what. I like to keep these things a surprise. So I wish you happy folding, and this one's quite good because if you do make the ball, you'll have made 6 sides, and that will give you the practice, and you will find an interesting process of the first time. It's always really hard. It's quite intimidating doing something new, but you'll feel very happy that you've stuck with it. And then with time, you'll find it easier and easier, and it becomes more and more relaxing and rather lovely when you master something. You'll feel a sense of achievement. So you've got that repetition. I think origami is often about the repetition as quite soothing, as your brain's learnt something and it becomes something that you can quite easily do. So I hope your Kusudama, your medicine ball, will make you feel better. And I will be back again next week with some more making. Thank you very much. Bye bye.